You've been taught to see failure as the final verdict, a seal on your worth, a stop sign on your ambition. But what if failure isn't an endpoint, but the raw material from which your greatest successes are forged? Tonight, we'll learn to treat every setback not as a sentence, but as a blueprint, an exact map of where to dig deeper, rebuild stronger, and rise anew. Think of an architect sketching a skyscraper's foundation. For every design that stands tall, there were dozens of discarded drawings, plans that proved unstable under stress tests, blueprints that revealed hidden flaws in the soil. Each failure in the lab didn't mean the project died. It meant the design was being refined. Those failed drafts are the very lines that guide the final structure's strength. Your failures work the same way. Each misstep exposes a hidden weakness, and that knowledge is your blueprint for the next iteration. Notice how you react when a project derails, a relationship fractures, or a goal slips through your fingers. You feel shame, embarrassment, anger, emotions that shout, "Stop." But those emotions are indicators pointing to the precise fault lines in your plan. Instead of ducking away, lean closer. Feel the sting of failure as a diagnostic tool. Ask, what specifically failed here? What assumption cracked under pressure? 1. Isolate the fault line. When you fail, don't sweep the debris away. Instead, inspect the rubble. Grab a journal and write down exactly what happened. No judgments, just facts. The proposal was rejected because I missed key data. I froze in the presentation when I wasn't prepared for that question. I burned out because I scheduled no breaks. That factual list pinpoints the fault line in your approach. You now have the raw coordinates for your blueprint. 2. Extract the design lesson. Next to each failure fact, write the lesson it offers. If the proposal lacked data, the lesson is verify every claim with 2 sources. If you froze under questioning, the lesson is practice Q&A under time pressure. If you burned out, the lesson is build rest into the schedule. This side-by-side list transforms pain into instruction. Your blueprint emerges step by step from the very cracks that once threatened to collapse your project. 3. Draft a rapid prototype. Armed with those lessons, don't wait for perfect conditions. Sketch a rapid prototype of your next attempt, the minimal viable version that tests your new improvements. If it's a proposal, add 1 data point and send the revision to a trusted peer for feedback. If it's public speaking, rehearse a single answer under pressure for 2 minutes. If it's productivity, block out 30-minute work sprints with scheduled 5-minute breaks. This prototype isn't meant to win the finals. It's meant to validate your design tweaks in real time. 4. Iterate with ruthless speed. Failure loses its sting when you move quickly from one prototype to the next. Set a short cadence, perhaps 24 or 48 hours, between failures. Each cycle of fail-diagnosed prototype refines your blueprint further. The faster you iterate, the sooner you converge on a design that stands firm under pressure. Your project evolves from brittle first drafts into a resilient, tested masterpiece. 5. Celebrate the cracks. We celebrate success, but we seldom celebrate failure, though failure is where the learning happens. Create a small ritual. When you uncover a fault line, mark it with a symbol. A dash of red ink in your notebook, a notch on a bracelet, a single clap for yourself. By honoring the crack, you remove its shame and welcome its teaching. Over time, your failure marks will outnumber your success stickers, but they're the most precious marks because they chart the path to what works. 6. Share your blueprint. Vulnerability accelerates innovation. Once you've refined your design through iterations, share your blueprint, your lessons, your rapid prototype results, your new guidelines with others who face similar challenges. This doesn't require a fancy presentation. A brief message to a peer or a quick note in a community forum suffices. By exposing your cracks, you help others avoid the same pitfalls, and you reinforce your learning through teaching. 7. Anchor in the long game vision. Every failure blueprint cycle cracks away at your fear of inadequacy. But to keep failure in perspective, anchor each lesson in your long-term vision. Remind yourself why this project matters in the grand scheme of your life. I pursue this so I can impact my community. I learn this skill to express my voice. I master this craft to leave a legacy. When your blueprint aligns with that vision, failure no longer feels like a derailment, but a redirect on the highway to your purpose. Over the coming month, apply this blueprint process to one major goal, professional, creative, or personal. Believe that each setback is not a derailment but a design note. Keep your cycles short, your notes factual, your prototypes lean, and your celebrations sincere. Watch as your approach transforms from cautious perfectionism to bold experimentation. Your finished work will bear the hallmarks of resilient engineering, the many reinforced layers born of deliberate failure and confident redesign. Tomorrow morning, when doubt whispers, "What if you fail again?" greet it with the words, "Good. I have the blueprint." Then proceed, armed with the knowledge that every crack you uncover is a stepping stone toward unbreakable structure.